Are you trying to learn from a painful past? The Great Depression has been known to be a devastating era, but that won't exactly be the case when we take the frugal tips we can learn from that historic event. Check out this video to let in some light into saving and having frugal living ideas from the Great Depression. 15. Learn basic sewing skills. The basics in life will always take us to greater things. Now, you don't have to feel overwhelmed when you need to learn how to sew. This hack won't necessarily let you buy an entire sewing machine, but you just need to know the basic stitches that will keep your clothes together for a longer time. The basics of sewing don't need a lot of things, just a few threads and maybe a pair of needles will do you good for months. Invest in a sewing kit, and this will surely come in handy when there are minor slits and mishaps on your clothes. Did a button just come off? Or a minor uncomfortable tear inside your shirt? Learning the basic sewing skills will save you so much from having trips to the tailor shop. With the basic stitches, people from the Great Depression have saved a lot by repairing their own shirts, pants, and even other clothing materials. This skill is surely a must for frugal living. 14. Plant a mini garden. One of the things that people from the Great Depression learned is to plant for their own food. Those times were tough for people who were living on every single penny, so most of the families were really encouraged to plant a mini garden at home for their food. You might be automatically dismayed because planting can be a boring task, especially that some plants will surely take a while to grow. Have patience and take time in letting your plants grow. A mini garden does not need an acre's worth of land. You even can start with your own herbs just by the windowsill. With every small plant, you can take your fresh herbs right in your home. Slowly grow your plants from herbs to even your own vegetables. This investment makes wonders in the kitchen, as it did with people from the Great Depression. 13. Use DIY cleaning products. The Great Depression was a tough time for grocery shopping. People back then were very innovative with their cleaning products and used the common kitchen and other home items. This hack is probably one of the simplest ways to save money we can learn from the Great Depression. Aside from the fact that most of their cleaning products work, there are more DIY videos out there that you can follow today. The most common ones are the water and vinegar mixture that works wonders in taking out sink stains. Baking soda and water provide miracles in the kitchen with their scrubbing power. You can skip buying all natural products when you can make these natural products directly at home. 12. Make the most when meat shopping. Back in the day, people were used to making the most out of every part of meat that they shop. People are terrified to buy a whole chicken and instead buy the meat per piece. Although this is very convenient, buying a whole chicken saves you more. There are a lot of whole chicken recipes that you can enjoy, and you can also prepare meals for the next few days too. The era of the Great Depression also taught us to buy bones when buying meat. This way, it costs less, and a bonus is how bone cuts taste so much better. 11. Save electricity. A no-brainer tip you can get from the Great Depression is to save electricity. This tip does not mean to rewind the days back and live with a gas lamp. Saving electricity just means to be more mindful with every use. Don't forget to turn off the lights as you leave. Set a timer on air conditioning. And even unplugging items when not in use will save you so much more compared to mindlessly using electricity. 10. Swipe less, pay in cash more. How did the era of the Great Depression survive without credit cards? Back in the day, most people paid in cash. This trick does not necessarily work for everyone, but this just means how you can only spend within your means. When you don't have the cash to pay for it, you might as well put it back and save more so you can buy it when you have less financial worries. Lastly, paying in cash feels extremely more gratifying than owing money from your credit card. 9. Give canning a try. Talking about the Great Depression also means giving canning a try. Canning was a huge part of that era, and it made people enjoy their food without worrying that it might go bad the next day. People were very meticulous with the food on the table during the Great Depression, so women canned almost everything they bought to extend the food's shelf life. One frugal living idea you can take a shot at is canning. It does not really take a lot to can the basic food items at home. You can start with a good canned pickle recipe. If you enjoy salsa so bad, try making your own salsa and can it at home. The variations you can find on the internet are endless, so take a look at your cupboard to see what you might can today. The kitchen is truly a magical place to start your frugal way of living. 8. Don't throw your scrap. As there are a lot of money-saving tips you can get from your kitchen, a great idea is to not throw away your scrap. Most kitchens during the Great Depression era had scrap jars that contain various kitchen scraps. Make use of these scraps for more DIY projects. Lemon peels can turn into great cleaning agents. Eggshells can also be part of your planting needs. Aside from the kitchen, there are scraps at home that you can recycle to make something new out of it. Old fabric, newsprints, and even bags can turn into something you can use anew. 7. Waste no water. Wasting water was a mortal sin back in the Great Depression. Take a small step into saving water by being more mindful with how much you spend on your monthly usage. The small things matter, like taking shorter showers, washing loads of dishes altogether, and even by simply keeping all faucets free from any leak. A tip you can take home is by putting a brick at the back portion of your water tank so it will take less water in between flushes. Just because you have unlimited access to water does not mean you can go on a spree with your water bill. Learn to manage your water usage with the simple ways you can do it at home. 6. Learn foraging. Another kitchen tip we can learn from the Great Depression is to get into foraging. Back in the dark times, people kept food on the table with the wild edibles they could find. Since store-bought food was a bit scarce, they went above and beyond with the creativity and experiments they made with the edibles around them, like plantain, chickweed, and even wood sorrel. Aside from the fact that these edibles are easy to find, they also have added nutrients and are all natural. You can start by identifying the wild edibles around you and try searching for various recipes and its benefits. The most famous ones are the berries, some vegetables, and the wild greens. Teaching how to forage on your kids can also help them with survival skills in cases of emergency. Guidebooks on foraging are all over the internet, and this can get you going on being more creative every mealtime. 5. Restore furniture pieces. Since the Great Depression was a time of keeping things for long, most people restore their broken furniture to keep their money saved from unnecessary spending. Do the minor repairs at home and even make your own furniture instead of getting a new one. There are various DIY plans and even video tutorials on how to restore tables, chairs, and other home furniture. Having the basic tools and supplies will also help you build your own home items without spending a lot. 4. Go for reusable products over disposable ones. One thing that I have learned from the Great Depression is how people don't like to throw away their things so easily. People back in the Great Depression reused a lot of things. They also preferred having reusable items over disposable ones. With this trick, you get to wash these items over and over compared to throwing them away and buying another disposable one. Limiting the use of disposable products will save you money and will also create less waste. Start with the things in the living room, then work your way with the reusable items you can find for your bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom. Reusable items will last you for years, and they are such a great investment for your daily use. 3. Use everything to the last drop. As the Great Depression valued everything they used, they are very keen on using everything to the last drop. If you are guilty of using more of the product than you need, you can remember the one jab rule. You can start with your shampoo, lotion, toothpaste, and even on your cleaning products. People don't realize how much they use up more than they usually need. Consider reading the back portion of your product and just stick to how much you actually need. People often tilt the bottle of their products upside down to make sure to use every single drop of the product. Technology has evolved, and stores often sell spatulas that let you scoop or access hard-to-reach areas of the bottles of your favorite makeup products. These spatulas may not have been around during the Great Depression, but they surely are very useful products if you want to get the most of what you paid for. 2. Consider natural remedies. Another money-saving tip from the Great Depression is how they used natural remedies back then. Are you having a slight throat irritation? Try getting some warm lemon water. Hydrate more, invest in a good set of vitamins, rest when you feel sick, and take a good night's rest every day. A dab of the people's all-time favorite vapor rub can also work wonders. Mothers and even grandmothers swear by these remedies, and these remedies can even probably be traced back to the Great Depression. 1. Don't spend blindly. Lastly, the Great Depression taught us how to spend our money wisely. Those dark times were very financially suffocating for almost everyone. People made sure they had food on the table with what they had and how little they had. It was a tough time, but it taught the next generations not to spend money blindly. Keep track of your bills and expenses, whether it is a notebook or a digital copy of where your money goes. As money has been tight back then, you can learn to spend on your needs regularly and on your wants occasionally. The frugal living is certainly not being cheap, but just being wise on where you would really spend your money. And that is probably one of the best money-saving tips the Great Depression has taught us. Frugal living changes our view about money, and there is no doubt it does. Now, what are those minimalist habits we need in order to change our view about our finances? Check out this video, 10 minimalist money habits that will change your view about money. Learn more with our tailored playlist on frugal living ideas so you can build a more economic and penny-wise lifestyle. Don't leave yet without subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification button so you'll be updated with our latest life-changing tips and tricks.